week I showed you what's on the bar. This week I'm going to show you what's on the floor still that hasn't made its way up to the bar yet. Some of these things will stay on the floor, like the infinity bottles, and the ones that I have never tried yet, and the ones that I have tried before but have duplicates will end up on the bar eventually. And maybe they'll be there the next time I do an update. So I'm going to turn the camera around, turn on the light, and show you what I got. Alright, over here on the floor I have 3 bottles, the Jura Elixir, the Glenglassaugh Torfa, and the Clynelish 14. Those I've had before, but these are still sealed bottles that will end up on the bar somewhere eventually. I do have a bottle of, or half a bottle of Bombay Sapphire Gin for making gin and tonic. If I'm kind of warmed up and just got home. I have a couple of Isla Infinity bottles, one from the islands. There's a Highland, a Speyside, and a Lowland. Oh, the Lowland's getting dusty. I should touch that sometime, maybe put a little more in it. There's World Whiskey in the Hibiki bottle. There's the Irish in the Glendalough bottle. There's the bourbon in a Jack Daniels bottle. That's my bourbons and ryes, all at one infinity. The last 4, which are those 2 Wiser's bottles, the Canadian Club 41 bottle and the Crown Royal XR bottle, those are all Canadian, except for these 2 in the Wiser's bottles have Canadian whiskey blended with Isla whiskey, peated Isla whiskey. And these 2, this one here and that one there, have just Canadian whiskey in them. Here's a Port Charlotte, which hasn't quite made it up to the bar yet. Those are 2 bottles of Highwood 5-year-old 90. Here I have showed you this one, the Pike Creek 21-year-old Oloroso. That's a duplicate bottle of what's on the bar. These 2 are Alberta Premiums, and back there is a Canadian Club 40-year-old. All of which I've had before, but I haven't opened them yet. So now we will adjourn to the other bunch down here underneath the table. We have a few whiskeys under the table, so let's get into this here. Sorry about the mess, I didn't sweep up. There's a Balblair 12. There's a Mortlach 16. There's a Balblair 18. There's Old Pulteney 18. Canadian Rocky 17. The new Glenlivet 12. I haven't tried it yet. Bunnahabhain Toitekada. Glenmorangie New and Old, or Old and New Quinta Ruban. I'm looking forward to trying those. There's a Stock and Barrel 3-barrel blend. There's a Glengarry, I think it's the Chapter 1 Renaissance. There's a Puni Alba, that's Italian whiskey from the north of Italy. There's the, that was a 15-year-old Glengarry, by the way. This here's a 16-year-old Glengarry Renaissance 2nd Chapter. Auchentoshan and 3 Wood. I've had Auchentoshan and 3 Wood before, but I think they may have changed it. I don't know. There's a Oaken Puccine from Macaloni's Victoria Caledonian Distillery. It's a triple barrel or triple distilled whiskey, which is going to be interesting. This one here is a Shelter Point, and that Shelter Point is called Echoes of the Hebrides, and it is a Strathcona Liquor Store exclusive Shelter Point. There's another one here. Sucks to get old. This one here is another Shelter Point called Patience is a Virtue. Also an exclusive Strathcona Liquor Store release. All right. There's an Isla Mist 17-year-old Isla Mist. I've never tried this before, but I seen Trenny and C had it. I asked them, where did you get it? They told me, and I went there and got it. Now, we have here the Liberator Rye Whiskey from Highwood. These next whiskeys coming up, were all from the summer release of the BC liquor stores. And I brought home quite a haul in like 3 or 4 different trips over the period of about 3 weeks. There's a Buffalo Trace single barrel, which I'm looking forward to. Now, we're going to have to adjourn to the other side of the room, where ouch, there goes my head. Here on the other side of the room right there. These are the ones that were underneath that table, but I laid them out here so that they're easier to see. These are also from the Canadian, or the Summer Spirits release. There's a Scarabus Isla Single Malt. There's a High West Campfire. I have 2 elements of Isla Peat. One is 50.3% and one is 45%. They are 50 milliliter bottles. Here's a barrel strength Bolete bourbon, an Old Forester single barrel, and this is the 17-year-old Glengarry 3rd chapter from the Renaissance. I've not found the 18-year-old chapter 4. I think that one's sold out, but there's still chapter 1, 2, and 3, which I still have. Here's a double barrel Shelter Point. This is the one with I think it's a single malt whiskey. Yeah, single malt, double barrel, 50%. Macallan 12. This was also from the summer release, which the Shelter Point I don't believe was. Glenmorangie Cadball Estate, Ardbeg Wee Beastie, and now we're getting back into things that are not part of the summer release from the whiskey, the liquor store, BC liquor stores, that is. There's a Sexton. I've never seen Sexton before, but when I saw that, I had to grab it. My friend, the whiskey neighbor, tried this one here. It's an Aaron Amarone cask. Or was it the whiskey neighbor? Could it have been... I forget whose video I saw, but they liked it a lot. It might have been the whiskey neighbor. There's a Shelter Point Smoke Point 2. These are the most recent acquisitions on my most recent trip up island. I got some mellow corn. I also got a single cask peat finish. This one's bottled at cask strength, which was 1 barrel of the ex-Isla peated whiskey, 1 barrel, which was exceptionally good, and they bottled it as is instead of vatting it to make something like the Smoke Point 1 or Smoke Point 2. And this one here is the Forbidden, which was sold out at the distillery, but I found it in a liquor store on the way home from the distillery up island. And that's it for what's underneath the bar on the floor.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.